The fall from grace of a living American legend 50 years in the making.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 career-finishing scandals.
But now Lauer joins the ranks of disgraced media titans.
For this list, we'll be looking at the worst and most famous incidents that ended the career of a prominent celebrity. Do any of these people deserve a comeback? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Armie Hammer. This actor was on the rise throughout the 2010s, starring in The Lone Ranger and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. before earning critical acclaim as Oliver in Call Me By Your Name.
So what do you do around here?
Read books, transcribe music, swim at the river, go out at night. I don't know.
That sounds fun.
But everything collapsed in January of 2021. It was then that text messages that revealed Hammer's violent fantasies were made public.
For weeks, I've been trying to process everything that has transpired. I am shocked, heartbroken, and devastated.
Other women also came forward with allegations of abuse, and the woman who leaked the original texts accused Hammer of sexually assaulting her in 2017. The actor dropped out or was fired from a string of projects and moved to the Cayman Islands, where he reportedly worked as a timeshare salesman.
I'm not responding to these expletive claims, but in light of the vicious online attacks against me, I cannot in good conscience now leave my children for 4 months to shoot a film.
Number 9. Charlie Sheen. This actor enjoyed decades of success, with his mainstream popularity spanning back to the late 80s.
Excuse me?
Excuse you. You ought to spend a little more time dealing with yourself, a little less time worrying about what your brother does. That's just an opinion.
However, he underwent a very public downfall throughout the 2010s, owing mainly to his substance use disorder. Following a stint in rehab, Sheen was fired from 2.5 Men for making offensive comments about his boss, Chuck Lorre.
The show claimed that you were unable to perform your duties. They cited erratic behavior and derogatory public comments about the show. You claimed it was wrongful termination. Is the truth somewhere in the middle there, Charlie?
The derogatory stuff is true.
The termination resulted in a lot of publicity for the actor, as did his increasingly erratic behavior. He rode this publicity and found consistent work, including an FX sitcom called Anger Management that ran for 100 episodes.
Guys, this is huge. This is bigger than huge.
However, Sheen's star had undeniably faded, and he hasn't worked in TV or film since 2017. Number 8. Matt Lauer. One of the most prominent American newsmen, Matt Lauer found great success co-hosting the NBC program Today. He lasted 20 years on the show, with his tenure spanning from 1997 to 2017.
We're very excited to be celebrating you, Matt, and Al and I were lucky enough to be here when it all started in 1997.
It was in that year that a fellow NBC employee reported that Lauer had repeatedly harassed her. Many other allegations were reported throughout the following years, and according to journalist Ronan Farrow, NBC was fully aware of Lauer's predatory behavior.
The evidence in this book, the documentation and paper trail of settlements, reveals that there were multiple arrangements to keep women quiet who had allegations against Matt Lauer years before this one that got him fired.
They only acted following the public accusation and fired Lauer in November 2017. Lauer and his wife divorced in 2019, and Lauer has reportedly spent his time writing a tell-all book.
It had been a stunning fall from grace for Matt Lauer. After his firing, his wife divorced him. He's selling his $44 million Hamptons home and went almost totally dark on social media.
Number 7. Roseanne Barr. There once was a time when Roseanne Barr was the hottest name in television. Her eponymous sitcom was a huge success throughout the late 80s and 90s, running for 10 seasons and earning Barr an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy.
Oh, hold it right there. You were very, very mean to me and hurt my feelings today, and I'm not sure that I even want to talk to you yet.
The show was revived in 2018, but it only lasted one season before Barr's controversial actions got it canceled. On May 29th of that year, Barr wrote a racist tweet aimed at a government official, Valerie Jarrett.
Within hours, ABC pulled the plug on the show, saying Roseanne's Twitter statement is abhorrent, repugnant, and inconsistent with our values, and we've decided to cancel her show.
The reaction was swift and severe, with ABC canceling the show that very same day. A spin-off titled The Connors was made without Barr, and she disappeared from the television landscape.
I know Roseanne would want me to step in and watch over the family.
No, it'd kill her. But she's already dead, so carry on.
Number 6. Bill O'Reilly. One of the most popular conservative commentators, Bill O'Reilly was known for hosting The O'Reilly Factor on Fox News.
Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. We'll have the Talking Points memo a bit later on, but first, an interview with Donald Trump.
It ran for 21 seasons between 1996 and 2017. While the program was an enormous success in the ratings, it came to a sudden end once settlements against O'Reilly were made known. The New York Times broke a story and revealed that O'Reilly had been the target of 5 sexual harassment lawsuits.
The path to O'Reilly's ouster began 2 weeks ago with the New York Times investigation, revealing that 5 women, including guests and employees of his show, had been paid $13 million in settlements.
Both he and Fox News paid millions in settlements. Advertisers dropped their support for the O'Reilly Factor once the news was made public, and Fox fired their most popular host. He then started hosting a podcast called No Spin News.
Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News.
Number 5. Jussie Smollett. Beginning in 2015, ex-child star Jussie Smollett began starring as Jamal Lyon on Fox's Empire.
Is this your idea of a sick joke? Nah, I mean, you seem kind of jealous of the song I wrote for Mom, so I wrote one for you. Did you know about this?
The show was an immediate success, garnering several Emmy nominations and being named one of the 10 best shows of the year by the American Film Institute. On January 2019, Smollett fabricated a fake hate crime and was later sued by the city of Chicago.
Breaking overnight. A law enforcement source familiar with the investigation tells NBC News that Chicago police are now looking into whether Empire actor Jussie Smollett actually paid 2 men to fake an attack against him.
They had filed a lawsuit hoping to reclaim over $130,000 that they had spent fruitlessly investigating Smollett's tall tale. He was also fired from Empire and hasn't appeared on TV since. In December of 2021, Smollett was found guilty of 5 felony counts of disorderly conduct and sentenced to 150 days in county jail.
There are people that are actual, genuine victims of hate crimes that you did damage to. I don't know how this is going to impact other people, if they're going to be hesitant to come forward because they're going to think that they're going to be accused of acting like you.
Number 4. Kevin Spacey. Few actors have fallen so far from grace. Regarded as one of the finest performers of his generation, Kevin Spacey has won 2 Academy Awards for his acting. He also helped usher in the success of Netflix, starring as Frank Underwood in House of Cards. In 2017, however, actor Anthony Rapp accused Spacey of sexual misconduct, prompting 15 others to come forward with similar accusations. Spacey's career collapsed, and he was fired from all future projects.
In the very short time since the first person came forward, they have essentially written him out of House of Cards, and he's been cut from a film that is set to come out in December.
His final major role was that of Doc in Edgar Wright's Baby Driver, although he does have roles in upcoming films.
What I think we're seeing is strength in numbers and a little less fear that speaking your truth will end your career.
The voices of male accusers now a powerful part of the chorus.
Number 3. R. Kelly. A huge star of the 90s, R. Kelly is a multi-Grammy winner who has sold over 75 million records.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
However, he was also repeatedly accused of sexual misconduct and abuse for decades. He managed to evade consequences for this behavior until the release of the 2019 Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly, which chronicles his history of allegations.
I felt like my silence allowed it to continue. I worked up the courage to come forward and tell my story. A part of me always felt like maybe I did something for him to treat me that way. I want my story to be heard.
Following its release, Kelly was dropped by RCA Records and charged with new crimes. He was found guilty of racketeering and of violating the Mann Act, which concerns the transportation of women for illicit activities. He was subsequently sentenced to 30 years in prison and faces another trial in 2023.
And showed no remorse, and in fact seemed to believe that as a music superstar, he was somehow immune from having to behave lawfully.
Number 2. Harvey Weinstein. This man was once a powerful figure in Hollywood.
Harvey Weinstein was the king of Hollywood, a mogul with 81 Oscars to his name.
The co-founder of both Miramax and the Weinstein Company, Harvey Weinstein is the Oscar and Tony-winning producer behind works like Pulp Fiction, Good Will Hunting, and Shakespeare in Love. However, behind the scenes, he used his power and influence to sexually harass and assault women. Things came to a head in October of 2017 when the New York Times and the New Yorker reported over a dozen allegations against him, sparking the #MeToo movement.
It's been 5 years since allegations against Harvey Weinstein set in motion a movement that changed Hollywood and the world. Some women still hoping for justice.
In total, over 80 women came forth accusing Weinstein of harassment and/or assault, including popular actress Rose McGowan. Weinstein was charged and found guilty of 2 felonies and sentenced to 23 years in prison.
We have breaking news for you. Harvey Weinstein is heading to prison. Judge James Burke in New York City just delivered the sentence, 23 years.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Bill Cosby. While he had been a successful comedian since the 60s, Bill Cosby is mostly remembered for starring as Cliff Huxtable in the enormously popular The Cosby Show.
It's under control, so no
problem. Right. How do you expect to get into college with grades like this?
No problem.
Huh?
See, I'm not going to college.
Damn right.
While he was known as America's Dad throughout the 1980s, this changed dramatically in the 2010s. After comedian Hannibal Buress drew attention to allegations against Cosby in 2014, numerous women came forward with further accusations of sexual assault, dating all the way back to the mid-60s.
This round started off, believe it or not, as a joke. Back on October 16th, comedian Hannibal Buress says something that goes viral.
On September 25, 2018, Cosby was sentenced to prison for aggravated indecent assault. He remained behind bars for nearly 3 years, but his conviction was overturned in June 30th, 2021.
The Philadelphia Supreme Court threw out the conviction, saying Cosby's due process rights were violated.
While Cosby was released from prison, his career is effectively over.